I'm bringing you my 5 top tips for how to look after your beautiful, wonderful designer goods. Hi guys, hope you're fab. Welcome to this week's video. I'm Antonia from timpanies.com. Do click here to find out all about us. Essentially, we resell luxury designer goods, and today I'm bringing you a video that is close to my heart because I resell a lot of designer handbags, and so many of them would be worth so much more if they were just in slightly better condition. So I'm bringing you my 5 top tips for how to look after your beautiful, wonderful designer goods. So my rule number 1 is all about how you store your goods, and what you want to make sure is that you've stuffed them really nicely. I would suggest stuffing them with paper, not newspaper because the ink can come off, but actually just tissue paper or plain paper, or actually what's really great is any stuffing that comes in your Amazon packages. Just whip that out, pop it in your bag, and then surely if you've got a beautiful designer bag, it does come with a dust bag, so pop it in the dust bag and then store it on the shelf. Make sure it's nicely sat on the shelf, that there's going to be nothing, there's no other bags touching it on either side, so you've just got a little bit of room so it's not being squashed, and there it will sit beautifully unsquashed and nice and upright. Because over time, if you don't store them well, they do form creases, they get a bit floppy, and they don't look great. You also really do want to make sure that they're not stored near direct sunlight. I've definitely had items, not just handbags, but items of clothing that have come in and they've just been, even if it's just an arm or a sleeve or something, they've had direct sunlight. It can be as short as almost like a couple of days just in direct light. It can cause a discoloration. So do make sure that they are nice and shaded, nice and cool, and stored beautifully in a cupboard. So rule number 2 is just be careful what hand creams you use, because I've seen quite a few handbags, and this is obviously a really great one because they're wooden, but I've seen quite a few handbags that people have used hand creams, and over time it really can cause discoloration to the leather on the top of the handles. And equally, just be careful how the corners wear. The areas that I first look at when I get a handbag in are these corners, because wherever you put them down, they will just sort of flop, even if they've got protective studs, and the corners do wear really quickly. So I would suggest, if it's not too inappropriate and a little bit weird, that you carry a little handbag hook with you, and you can just pop your beautiful bag on the handbag hook if you're sitting at a table. Or I know I've got one client that asked for an extra chair for her bag. That might be a little bit much, but just be careful you're not putting it on the floor, putting it on a rough surface. And also equally, don't just put it on the kitchen surface, because sometimes there can be residue of food or cleaning detergent or anything that can actually cause damage to the bag. So just be mindful of where you're putting it down. So number 3, of course, handbags are meant for putting things in, but the next thing that I often see is that they have staining to the linings, whether that be makeup, or the next biggest thing is that a biro has leaked into your bag. And all I'd say is, number 1, use a pencil, and number 2, make sure that you're carrying your makeup in a beautifully zipped bag, so that even if there are any accidents, that they're contained within that bag. And also the same, if you do want to carry a pen, that is actually with a bag within a bag. So it just does protect the lining, because you'd be amazed at how much just having a few stains on the lining can affect the onward value to the next purchaser. So rule number 4, and it's a pretty obvious one, but if you've opened any food or any drink don't put it back in your bag. And it's just like, you know, you can carry a bottle of, even just a bottle of water, and you've put the lid back on, you just popped it in your bag, and you think it's all good, and that will be fine for probably 2 years. And then this one time you'll have your beautiful, wonderful designer bag, and the water bottle, for some reason the lid will have come off and you've just got water everywhere. So I would just say, as a general rule, if you've opened food or drink, don't put it back in your bag. And my fifth rule is just be mindful of the weather. You can actually now buy little rain jackets for your designer goods, which might seem a little much, but I actually think, you know, it does protect the leather. It stops any rain or water marks getting onto the leather. And if the heavens open, if you've got one in your bag, you can just whip it out, much like you get with the Birkins. Just pop it over your bag and it will protect the leather. Other than that, I've seen numerous videos of how to get watermarks out of handbags on YouTube, and if you want to give that a go, then go for it. Do you think the best bet would be to try and protect it in the first place, and actually both from the rain and, as I've mentioned already, from the sun? So guys, they're just a few little tips for how I try to keep my bags in good condition. I would really love it if you could share yours down below in the comments. Other than that, guys, wishing you a wonderful and safe week, and I'll be back at the same time next week. Bye.